It was definitely a sequence. So I think that when Airbnb first got started, it wasn't like a data science thing because we had so low volume that there was like no data to work with, really. Like in the very beginning, the founders were trying desperately to hit a revenue goal. And what they did is they flew to New York and they hand-to-hand met hosts. They held host meetups. I mean, they were literally like talking to people on the phone, on the ground, hand-to-hand to build enough supply in New York City where we could actually command any demand, right? So like we had to build the first initial marketplace effect. So the first stages of the company growth was almost no data, it was all like hand-to-hand. But then what happened is we started seeing that travel is inherently very global and creates a network effect. So we would see that people, like guests, would travel to New York, they'd stay with a host, they'd have a great experience, then they would go back to where they came from, they'd tell their friends who would also start traveling, but they would also potentially start hosting because they realized like maybe we could earn a little bit of extra money off of this. And as that network effect has started to pick up, it's become more of a data science problem where we look to how do we optimize these routes of travel, how do we like keep people engaged, how do we keep them coming back all the time once we reach some form of critical mass. But in the early days, it was totally hand-to-hand. And even as we were starting up in like some of the other countries that we operate in Europe, we started offices that would have people on the ground to get markets off the ground because especially when you're dealing in a supply and demand system, there's a chicken and egg problem and you have to do a little bit of hand-to-hand stuff in the beginning.